I'm currently on a 250-mile road trip to Florida right now. But how did I get here? Do you remember Fred Figglehorn?
Hey, it's Fred!
Fred Figglehorn was one of, if not the first YouTube star. Created by Jacob Cruikshank, Fred exploded to massive popularity and became the first YouTuber ever to hit 1 million subscribers. Because of rapid success like this, Fred expanded past the YouTube bubble by cameoing on shows such as iCarly, Hannah Montana, The Literal News.
Fred is a fast-talking 6-year-old whose frenetic behavior will make your head spin.
He got his own animated show, and he also got his own Nickelodeon movie trilogy with John Cena. Now, it seemed like the sky was the limit for a young Fred, and when you have executives telling you what to do and where to go and needing to make as much money as humanly possible, where do you go next? Well, you go to music. Well, in November of 2009, Fred went on to drop the 4-track classic mixtape, It's Hackin' Christmas with Fred, involving such hits as Christmas Cash and Christmas is Creepy, which are real songs. This mixtape was the definition of music and was critically praised, laying down the red carpet for Fred to drop his long-awaited debut studio album.
And there's a real-life, record album coming out too, right?
Yeah, September 21st.
I put my heart and soul into those songs, so I'm hoping to get a Grammy nod. And I was just listening to this hot new artist named Fred Figglehorn. He's really talented. They're actually thinking he's gonna win a Grammy this year. Oh my god, it's Weezer!
Releasing in September 2010, Who's Ready to Party is a 10-track magnum opus produced by the same people who produced the High School Musical soundtrack. Now, I've never brought this up on YouTube before because why would I? But I was a Fred fanatic when I was younger. I watched every video 8 times. I knew all the lore of Kevin and Judy, and also, importantly, I knew all the music. Now, important for the story here, in my freshman year of college, I joked about doing a Fred music tier list with my roommate at the time, so we tried finding every song he had ever released. However, as I was going through YouTube trying to make a playlist of every song, I realized that just simply, he didn't release as much music as I thought he did. Because as I was looking, I realized I couldn't find any songs from his album, Who's Ready to Party. I tried scanning through YouTube to find obscure uploads, but nothing was uploaded, at least nothing big enough to find at the time. So we quickly forgot about the idea and just went about our day, brushing it off as something we'd eventually do. It's now been 2 years since that realization, and it's been eating at me. Why couldn't we find the songs from the album? So I researched into it. I looked up the album on Spotify and found that it was nowhere to be found. So I was like, okay, that's weird. But then I remembered my sister had bought some of the singles off the album. So I asked her if she could look and find them, and she went to go do that, and she couldn't find them either. They were deleted off her account. So I looked on YouTube again, and besides the music videos for the singles for the album, there were no signs of the full album. Any official release was gone. So I was like, okay, weird. Maybe it's one of those albums you can't stream, but you can still buy physically. And actually looking at Spotify right here, there's a Who's Ready to Party CD that's a new unopened CD in its original packaging. So let's click it, and it's waitlisted. So I'll just sign up just in case, right? If you think, oh, that's easy, he found the CD. Look at the length of this video. Let's not kid ourselves. What originally started out as a funny idea to kill some time with my roommate my freshman year turned into late nights of me scouring through various different websites, finding absolutely nothing for this fucking album. Now you may be wondering, why am I trying to find this album? Why have I dedicated the entire year of 2024 so far to finding this? To be frank with you, I need to know. And not just for me. I need to find out for Lucas.
Tater Haters by Fred Figglehorn. Actually, you can't stream it anywhere because it's deleted, scrubbed off the internet.
Why?
Not by me, but by the record label who did it. So I think they didn't want anything to do with it anymore.
Kind of embarrassed.
Yeah.
Even the creator of Fred himself has no clue what happened to this album and where it is. So I've decided that I will not rest until I get my hands on the Who's Ready to Party CD by Fred Figglehorn. Let's do this for Fred! Setting this plan in motion, there were a few waitlists for a CD that I signed up for, but I knew deep down these would never work, so I'm not even gonna try to create tension here. They never budged, don't worry about them.
But what about the official link on a Spotify, Tony?
I never got one notification on this website the entire making of this video, and I've been working on this since about February. Even worse, every potential website I could find a trace towards completely turned up short. eBay, nothing. Mercari, no sorry. Amazon, no, Jeff Bezos hates me. So I was seeing nothing but a dead end on this tunnel. So I contacted the only person I knew that could help me. So I contacted El Último TV Nata, a Spanish YouTuber that is a lost media connoisseur, and also one of my good buddies. Everyone shout TV Man in the comments. TV Man!
Yeah, I'm scared every time you reach out to me because there's no in between. It's either obscure things or really bad things. You never ask me how I am.
What? Yes, I do. No, unfortunately, most of the websites he linked towards were websites I had already accessed, and they meant nothing. Well, all except for one. There was one new link that I had not checked, because why would I? And it's our old friend, Amazon.co.uk, a link I had not used since my Zac Efron horsegirl video in 2022. The UK Amazon was actually my one-stop shop for getting my hands on the CD, as it was the only active link available. So I went to check out the CD and realized that the price actually had a discount, a £3 discount. This £3 discount shocked and confused me until I realized this is the £3 gift card I bought in 2022 for the Zac Efron horsegirl video. Guess they unblocked me. So I went through with the purchase and anxiously awaited for my package to deliver. And while this CD actually sent to the wrong address at first, it eventually shipped from the United Kingdom all the way to Georgia, and I picked up my package on the way to class. And let me tell you, I was just so goddamn excited to get my hands on this that I could not wait until the end of class. I can't wait to open it. I have to open it now. Oh my God. This is lost media. I found it. This is lost. I had to go to Amazon UK to get this. Don't drop it. I cannot believe I got my hands on the CD. I mean, the photo shoot here is pretty cool. There's a whole party theme, and I guess the CD here like marks like the party aspect, like Fred's age. I don't know, I wasn't the brand designer. So a bit of time went by after getting my hands on the CD, and I realized that I don't really have my external CD drive here that connects to my PC, but that's fine. I guess I'll just try my PS4, right? So I tried to test it in my PS4, and it doesn't accept the CD, which is kind of weird admittedly, but also maybe it's scratched. Who knows, maybe I have to clean it. So I open up the CD, and as I'm investigating the CD to check for any scratches or any interference, I realized that something's off. Now this CD that I assumed marked the age Fred was turning, I noticed had the word Babyface on it, which is weird because that's not a track name on the entire album, but I'm not familiar with all the producers, so maybe it's just like a head producer of the album, right? So I look to the right of that and I see the words Face to Face, which I know damn well isn't a track name on this album. And then I see something that horrifies me. The word 2001. They sent me the wrong CD in the right packaging. I got Trojan horsed by Fred. So I contact the company for a refund or just a replacement CD, and they ghost me, which knocks me out of the refund window. What the fuck? So I'm just stuck with the wrong CD. And then I gaslight myself into thinking they printed it on that CD, but it is the correct Fred album. So there's only one way to fact check this. So I went to my car that has a CD drive and I popped it in. And for those who don't know, this is what the first song on the Fred album sounds like.
Hey y'all, it's Fred.
So I loaded the CD in and I know what the first song of Fred sounds like. That is not Fred.
Yeah, I don't think this is Fred. Fred Figglehorn. My mom's an alcoholic.
So instead of hit comedy YouTuber Fred Figglehorn's debut album, Who's Ready to Party, they sent me Babyface's R&B album, Face to Face, which dropped on September 11th, 2001. Which is now officially the second worst thing to happen that day. So I was scrambling. I thought I had it made. I thought I had an easy video, but no. So I got back in contact with TV Man to tell him the awful news.
So it's the wrong CD.
It's Babyface. Oh, look it up. Help!
What's the plan now? What are you trying to do now?
I need to find this CD. I messaged them being like, hey, you gave me Babyface's album and they never got back to me.
You gave me Babyface album and they're like, yep, we did. Yeah.
So we went through the trenches of the internet to try and find this album, and unlike Be Legit, E40, and AJR, nothing was clicking.
What's the art of the CD?
I genuinely have no clue.
Unboxing. Maybe we've searched for unboxing.
Oh, okay.
No, of course nobody unboxed it.
However, I spied something with my little eye. I saw All Fred Music Pack go back.
All Fred Music Pack plus poster. It's from Japan. It's from Japan.
I had to go to a fucking country to get this album.
How much? Like 8,000 yen. 50 bucks for
50 bucks for 2 Fred albums and a poster. TV Man managed to find one link that was our salvation.
Wait, here it is. Wait, you're going to get a Japan import.
TV Man found a Japanese reseller selling this album for 1,850 yen. Oh boy.
Give me your PayPal. Give me your PayPal.
So after confirming that this was a real legitimate website, I made an account and then paid someone from Japan real money to get this American CD. However, after paying, I learned it wouldn't ship out until the end of April, which is cutting it way too close for my deadline of this video. Oh my God, I'm too stressed. I need something to take the edge off. I need something entertaining. I need somebody with a lot of content that like has like a lot of prowess in the YouTube community. And then I realized I haven't seen Fred in literal years. So while I'm waiting for the CD to ship, me, along with my roommates Dillon and Log, all got reacclimated with Fred. And we were so excited that I didn't realize I was out of focus the entire time, but please ignore that. How does everyone here know and love Fred? Dillon, you want to start?
I think my big introduction to Fred was the movies, in particular the scene where John Cena suplexes Fred.
Yeah, I remember watching the Figgle chat when it premiered. I was a avid Fred Figglehorny guy.
Fred Goes Swimming, I think, is really what sold me on the Fred canon. We want to go on like a little bit of a rewatch. So how about we watch Fred's first video?
I'm just sitting here. She left a few minutes ago and she told me I can't use her camera. But I'm doing it anyway.
I feel sober already.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty bored and it's Halloween.
I feel like the only reason I'm laughing is because of how dead quiet you guys are.
I have temper problems. I don't!
Why was he hitting the nay-nay there? Did you see that?
He shook it so hard that there was another clip.
Yeah, we're doing the swimming one. That's an iconic one. I remember this one being a banger.
Why did I have to spend more money than Kevin? Gosh! Okay, well, since I'm really mad, I think I'm gonna go because I don't want to take all my anger out on you. Bye!
Fred unzipping! I gotta go.
There's no way.
I hope this
unzipit.com. I gotta scream like Fred. Doing your life reminds you of Fred. Honest, Zach.
What's wrong in the comments?
All right, now let's watch him get Weezered.
Weezer? Oh my god, it's Weezer!
Wow, the Ratitude arrow was really rough.
Psyched to play the moon. I think we have a ton of Facebook fans here. Thanks, Fred, for making dreams come true.
That's me! Editing Tony here. We watched so much content on the Fred video, I cannot fit it in here, but I just want to say that we watched the new Fred content. New is in relative terms because the channel shut down July 2015, I believe. We watched some of the new content that was on the channel, and it is atrocious. Like, there is Clash of Cans, which is the least funny parody I've ever seen. We found out there was a show where kids and parents were quizzed on how well they knew each other that was hosted by Jake Paul, and other stuff that was not worth mentioning. Anyways, let's go back to the discussion, Tony. Man, that was a lot of fun, and it passed a week of time, so that's great. Let's check out my order progress. Japan hasn't forgiven us Ohioans since the Logan Paul thing happened. Well, I'm officially screwed. There's no active CD links for this album. There's no tangible leads. There's just nothing. However, there's a fourth thing. Do you remember those waitlists from earlier? I actually got a notification. I'm fucking kidding. I mean, there's a greater chance of Spider-Goon getting greenlit by Marvel. So needing help, I asked all my Ko-fi supporters if they had any leads on finding this album, which, by the way, you can join my Ko-fi to help in experiments like this. And it actually worked out because one of my supporters, Lunar Sun, managed to find a digital upload of the entire album. And I mean the entire album, all 10 tracks in one video, which is great. Admittedly, it's only great in the chance I can't actually get my hands physically on the CD for this video. I mean, I could always just lie and say I got it here, but that's not fun. And full transparency, I don't have the real CD here, so it might actually help if I can't find anything. However, I refuse to put all my eggs in one basket because then I don't have an interesting video. And in my solo deep dive online, I found one more website, Discogs.com. Discogs.com is a website where people can buy and sell CDs and vinyls to each other, and I recently found something beautiful on there. I found one person selling Who's Ready to Party, and after a quick verification, it seemed legit. I also found out that the CD would be shipping in from, I'm not exaggerating, Latvia. But just to recap in this video so far, I had the United Kingdom give me a 9/11 relic, I had Japan give me false hope, and now the fate of my video is in the hands of Latvia. So realizing I had no time to waste, I put in the order and I've done the math. There's too good of a chance for it to not come on time, if at all. This video was originally scheduled to be released on May 3rd, and after checking my PO box, it's still not here, which means I can't release it today. So I decided to take an L and delay this video, and honestly, kind of just give up. That was until I got an anonymous tip with a potential lead.
Hi, I'm Annie. I know where to find the album.
Now, I've been trying to find this album in digital stores, but my anonymous tip told me that somewhere in the North Florida library is a copy of Who's Ready to Party. And luckily for me, I live just a state away in Georgia. However, there are some flaws with this idea. Flaw number 1, North Florida can mean anything from a 3-hour drive to a 7-hour drive. Flaw number 2, I don't live in Florida, so the specific library may not even let me check it out. Flaw number 3, who even knows if they actually have the CD? It might just be a relic that they forgot to take off. Flaw number 4, what if someone swipes this from underneath my nose right as I get there? So I was having a mild panic party until Annie came back with the specific address and one more thing to note.
The good news, there is a library in Florida that has it. You know, as I told you, library in North Florida has it, easy drive, whatever. Bad news, I lied, I was wrong. Not North Florida, Middle Florida. Hope that's okay.
The CD is not in North Florida. It's actually in the smack dab center of Florida. It's in Ocala, Florida. Annie had given me that information on Friday, April 26th at around 5 p.m. And I realized that that specific library closes at 6 p.m. So I needed to get in contact with them stat. So I needed to ask them a few different questions as libraries operate based off county, and I don't know anyone that lives in this specific county. So on that same day, Friday, April 26th at 5:30 p.m., I contacted the real actual library. I have a bit of an odd question, if that's fine. I'm in town, I'm visiting my family, and I noticed on your library, you have this CD I've been trying to find for a while now. Because I don't live in the area, is there still any chance I could take a look at it?
Yeah, there's a couple different things you can do.
So I could not leave the vicinity with the CD or even rent it. However, I was informed.
If you want to come and just listen to it in the library, that's also a possibility.
I was ecstatic. So ecstatic that I forgot to ask the library if the CD was actually physically there. And by the time I actually realized, oh God, I should ask, the library was shut. Which with the original plan would not have been a problem because I was planning on going up there Sunday. However, Annie informed me because they're a government operation, they're closed on Sunday. So dazed, confused, and out of options, I'm currently on a 250-mile road trip to Florida right now. So on April 27th, 2024, my friends CJ and D came along with me for a road trip all the way from Georgia to Florida.
I will say, this is the most envious I think I've ever been.
Of my career?
Yes, because I want this Fred album.
Officially getting on the road at 8 a.m., we were in high spirits for what on paper is the most boring road trip ever. We are driving 4 hours straight to go to a library, and then 4 hours right back. The road trip of champions.
I think I might have gotten the don't get a ticket.
And then it just says, okay.
Just if you were wondering, if he was the right man for the job, he is.
1 hour turned to 2 hours, turned to 3 hours, and they were going pretty fast. I mean, you can tell we were having a blast.
Yes, guys, we got over an hour left! Money, 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 money.
So after 4 straight hours of driving and it being roughly 12 p.m., we finally hit Ocala, Florida.
We fucking made it! We fucking did it! Yeah!
And more importantly, we finally got to the library we needed.
Library, 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 library!
We parked the Tony Mobile and immediately celebrated in the parking lot.
Bring it. I'm not jumping.
I'm not jumping either.
It was beautiful. I have never been happier to see a library in my entire life. So we walked into the library to find it's a very quiet place with very few people inside. But it was clear that we needed to head forward. Finally standing inside the library where it all might come to an end, I took a deep sigh and headed straight forward for the desk lady to ask her a very important question. I asked this poor woman point blank where the Fred Figglehorn CD was, and after an awkward 5 seconds, she finally led us to the elusive children's section of the library. The three of us followed this nice woman towards the CD tower like moths to a flame, our hearts beating in anticipation as she scraped through the J section, which we later learned was for juvenile. At this point, I was so stressed because if you forgot, I still hadn't got 100% confirmation that the CD was there. Because by the time the library opened, we were already halfway through our drive and it would make no sense to just turn back now. I needed to find out in real time because if you remember, it said in stock on their website, but that was it. So the fact that she hadn't immediately found it yet was bringing all these nerves crashing back towards me. With that, Oh my God, thank you.
We did it.
They had it. They had the CD. Oh my goodness, we are so close to being done with this journey. It was like holding my newborn son, but probably happier. I was looking at this CD like it was the second coming of Christ. However, it was restricted in this jail casing that my pure mortal hands could not open. She walked off with the CD as we all recouped.
I cannot believe we were talking like the F in Figglehorn and just like talking to her about it. I'm gonna cry, man.
And as we were all communicating, she then walked back with the exposed CD and put it in my excited hands. We had drove 4 hours to get here, and now there was only one way to find out if we actually got it. And that would be to open the CD and see what's inside. I am so serious where I thought it was gonna be Babyface's album again. Like, I thought there was a manufacturing issue that no one gave a shit enough to check. But after a deep breath, I opened the CD to make sure. The One Piece is real! After literal months of searching and it being ripped out of my hands everywhere, I finally got my hands on the goddamn Fred Figglehorn CD! So I connected my portable setup for enjoying Fred and popped in the CD. And to be real, I was still not 100% convinced that it would play. But I'll tell you the happiest news of all.
Hey y'all, it's Fred. I gotta tell you something. Oh yeah, I wanna be a celebrity.
The CD worked! I've never been so excited to hear those shitty brass sections. Look at all this footage. I'm having the time of my life in this children's library. Now, I couldn't hog all the fun to myself. I had to let my friends get in on the party too, come on! In fact, they all chose their favorite songs.
Hey y'all, it's Fred. Hey y'all, this is Fred and I'll be your DJ tonight. Let's make evil, not liking tater tots should be illegal. I wanna see you jiggy on the dance floor, everybody going insane. When the music stops.
Even though my coffee supporters pointed me to the YouTube upload of this album, I still had not listened to the entire thing because I was saving it until I got this fucking shit. I was waiting until I got the physical CD in my hand. So I skimmed through all the songs for the first time, never hearing them all on their own before, and God, I was loving it.
Girls like to shop, guys like to fart. You know how I hate the evil dentist. Hey y'all, this is Fred and I'll be your DJ tonight. I got the lights strobing and the fog machines rolling. Show me how you freestyle, how you freak everyone. Get down.
Is he freestyling? It comes from the heart.
Let your body go and surrender, yeah. You want it, you got.
It's like if Hotel Room by Pitbull was like a Halloween song.
You can tell the three of us lost track of time here because we were vibing for at least half an hour in this library that none of us remotely lived near and will probably never be to ever again.
What do you do when you working it?
It is a lot like Hotel Motel. Oh my God.
It's Hotel Motel, but Fred.
Hey, you
I don't
gotta
understand.
go do the jump squirrel.
What's the jump squirrel? Do the jump squirrel? What the hell is the jump squirrel? This is like the greatest piece of music I've ever heard.
This is also the ending track. This is track 10. It's the start of the party.
Get this party started.
Starts the party, track 10.
Yeah, they do say, let's get this party started. I've been here the whole time for the party. We're just now getting it started. I would still bully the shit out of him.
Also, really quick, you remember how I said like it was really quiet when we got in there? Yeah, there was like 7 people, including like 4 staff members, right? So while losing track of time, the library went from dead quiet to an insane amount of kids and families in half an hour.
There are 3 men huddled around a computer and the Fred CD in the children's library surrounded by children. There is so many children here.
So after kissing the One Piece goodbye, I let it go into the wild world of the Marion County, Ocala, Florida library. Now, before we left to go back to Georgia, we had a nice long talk with the desk lady who had actually started to research into the album because, as I suspected, no one had checked this album out for literal years. Like, I asked her if she could check in the database to see if anyone had rented it out, and she said,
yeah, it's not really showing me anything.
Now, real quick, I just want to give a big thank you to Michelle and all the staff at the Marion County Public Library who were incredibly nice and accommodating. This video literally would not have been possible without you guys, and if you want to support them or just your local library, please go out and do it. All I ask is you just be kind and respectful to your library, man. As we stepped off the premises and headed back towards my car to make the 4-hour drive back, it was safe to say one thing: friendship always wins. Well, actually, it's safe to say two things, because we went to the Taj Mahal of white people on the way back. That's right, I'm talking about Buc-ee's. It was my first time ever at a Buc-ee's, and holy shit, I understood all the hype immediately. It was so insane, I forgot to get like any footage of it. So now that we've hit the end of Southern One Piece, what can I say here? We all agree that the album is a fairly well-produced comedy album, and I mean this in a nice way. If it was performed with literally any other voice, it would actually be pretty great. But Fred's insanely high-pitched 100 gex style voice and his famous ad-libs of knocks it down to just all right. Now, why was this album scraped off streaming entirely? I think there's a chance that we will literally never know. Also, I'm taking off this goddamn hoodie. It's so hot. Lucas's theory of the record label being embarrassed is potentially the best we're gonna get here. My theory, however, is they didn't want to pay Lucas Cruikshank residuals. They didn't want to renegotiate any contracts, or quite simply, no one gave a shit. Maybe some higher up was like, no one's gonna give a shit if the Fred Figglehorn album is no longer for streaming. You know who gave a shit about Fred? Kids. And you want to know what kids are now? Adults. I mean, no one noticed it was gone. I mean, who would have? Who would have noticed? I mean, Lucas didn't even care because the last video he uploaded to the Fred channel was November 11th, 2014, and the Fred channel itself was completely abandoned July of 2015. So why would Red Ink Records even bother maintaining an album for a dead brand? Maybe this video does well enough and they feel compelled to answer, or maybe this video does not perform well at all and no one ever notices, like the Fred album. It just vanishes out of thin air. That would be poetic. I hope that doesn't happen. But I know one thing's for certain. I better end where I started. Hey, Editing Tony here to summarize where everything ranked in 30 seconds because I do not have the time to cut it all down. At F tier, we have Freestyle because it's literally a ripoff of Hotel Room by Pitbull. D, we have Don't Forget to Brush because it sounds like Don't Forget to Brush, and also Learn How to Drive, which gets old after the first listen. We have the title track Who's Ready to Party, which is just average. The song just stays at the same energy the whole time, and it just gets boring. At B tier, we have I Want to Be a Celebrity, a great opener. We also have Big Bad Bullies, which shows that you can literally do any pop country and be good. And we also have Babyface's 2001 Face to Face album at B tier because it's pretty decent. At A tier, we have Hard to Get because it sounds like a 100 gex song in the most positive way possible. We also have Girls Are From Uranus, which is a ska song with the craziest chorus ever. And at S tier, we have Tater Haters because listen to it, it is a banger. And The Babysitter's a Vampire, which is fire. But there's one more thing I forgot to mention, and I had to show it off to the Fred boys. So, you guys see the Fred album, right? And we all know this is my copy with Babyface. What if I told you guys?
You got it, right?
I have two. And you guys know what that means. Who doesn't like... Goddamn it.
No, you got it. The reveal is perfect. No, it's perfect.
Who doesn't like potatoes? I got the fucking CD! This is the greatest gift Latvia's ever given to the United States, and I own it forever. Dear Lucas, I hope I made you proud. And for everyone else, you can hit that subscribe button to help me in my quest to go from underrated to just rated. And don't forget to politely press that like button, as it's been obliterated too many times. If you stuck here all the way to the end, you'll like a lot of other things on this channel, so go on a channel binge. I highly encourage it. I'll see you next month in June, but until then, Kevin's in charge.
Unpopular opinion, but I don't think Fred is a real child. Oh God, Kelvin, no, don't go printer mode on me.